How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. So you guys know I am a big music fan. Obviously my entire YouTube channel is pretty much based off of my love of music. And you should know by now that I am a huge concert fan. I love attending shows and just getting to see my favorite bands and artists perform live right in front of my eyes. So with those experiences, obviously sometimes you get the opportunity to meet those bands or band members. And I've been lucky enough to run into a lot of band members and actually get the chance to meet them or have a little conversation with them. I'm also guilty of dropping a ton of money, like way too much money, to attend proper meet and greets, like VIP, whatever. Some would say that I'd regret it later, but I honestly don't. Those experiences are still insanely special to me, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today in this video. And before I jump right into this, make sure to leave a like on this video and let me know down in the comments section some band member interactions that you guys may have had. What was your best and what was your worst, if you have any? So I'm just going to start off by listing the bands and band members that I have actually met, and this is going to be in no particular order because honestly I just kind of came up with this list on the spot, just kind of trying to remember every band member that I've actually encountered in person. And then I'm going to give you guys like a top 5 countdown of the best interactions that I've had with particular band members or bands. Now the first two are pretty obvious. It was Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy that I've actually met twice. Now, I'm going to get into the details of those stories a little bit later, but those are some of my favorite interactions of all time, like literally don't regret them at all. Like seriously, I cherish those memories. Another band I met was Mayday Parade back in the fall of 2015, and my roommate at the time and really good friend Shelby was literally, and she still is, like a die-hard fan of Mayday Parade, so she wanted to go meet them and she actually paid for my meet and greet so I could go with her. So this next one actually took place, I think, last year sometime, I believe, in 2017, maybe it was 2016. I don't remember exactly when this show was, but I went to see Like Pacific and Movements, and they opened up for, I mainly went for Movements and Like Pacific, and I actually was able to meet the lead singer Jordan of Like Pacific, and I actually bought the vinyl of their album Distant Like You Asked, which was like one of my top favorites of 2016. Luckily, like I said, I ran into Jordan. I was talking to him just briefly. I just told him like how much I enjoyed the record. It was pretty chill, and then we got a quick picture. He obviously signed the record. It was just awesome. This next one is actually the most recent interaction that I've had with any band, and it's the band Citizen that I actually got to meet at Boston Calling over Memorial Day weekend. Next we have All Time Low, and I've actually met them twice, I think only twice. Now the first time was back in 2013, and they had a free signing at this record store downtown in Pittsburgh, and I went with 3 of my friends, and we got to meet All Time Low. We were all like literally obsessed with All Time Low at the time, and no, we didn't get to like take pictures with them or really talk to them too much. It was basically, like I said, a signing. We just got posters signed, and some of us got CDs signed and whatever we wanted to get signed. And I did meet them a second time. I think this was in 2016 or 15. I cannot remember. I think it was 2015. And we did, I was a part of the fan club, and we got to meet them, obviously. And it was kind of the same thing. It was just a signing. We didn't really get a picture or anything, but still. At last year's Warped Tour, John and I were actually lucky enough to run into Will and Hannah from Creeper, which is a band that we kind of recently discovered and we're really getting into, and obviously they were playing Warped Tour, and we got to see them right before they went on, and they were very, very kind. We also met Microwave at Warped Tour, another band that we're really getting into that we saw perform. They were very chill. We saw them quite a few times throughout that day. Also at that Warped Tour, I ran into Patrick Miranda of Movements, and I'm going to get into that story a little bit later because it was kind of more like a conversation. Also last year, I went to go see Knuckle Puck. They opened up for somebody, I believe it was Mayday Parade again, actually, but I did get to meet Joe from Knuckle Puck. He was near the merch table, and I realized like there was no one else around, and I was like, oh my god, that's Joe from Knuckle Puck, and I was with my friend Maddie, so we both got to meet him. So the next meet and greet is also one that I did purchase VIP for, and this was when I met Issues and Crown the Empire in 2016. Now I went to see obviously both of those bands together, and I had a blast. And the guys were all incredibly nice and very silly and just fun. You could do whatever pose you wanted for the photo, so I told them to all look like they were starstruck to be meeting me. So they all kind of tried to do like a shocking face. Tyler Carter was pretty nice. I can't remember the exact words he said to me, but he was very, very sweet. And then Sky, their bassist, complimented my hair, so that was really awesome. They were all very cool guys. I have a couple more Warped Tour ones for you guys. At 2016 Warped Tour, Tour. I got to meet Real Friends, and that was another one where my friend like begged me to go because she's a big fan of them, so I just did it. And then back in 2014, at my first Warped Tour ever, I got to meet Travis and Danny Duncan from We the Kings, and I also almost got to meet Charles Trippy, but I just missed him. In addition to that, at the same 2014 Warped Tour, I got to see Of Mice and Men play, and I also got to meet Aaron Pauley, which was their new clean vocalist at the time. The next band member I got to meet was Alex Kaplow, and this was in 2014 when I saw Panic at the Disco. He's from the band Magic Man, and they opened for Panic, and I believe they are on hiatus currently, but he was really, really sweet. And then one more band that I got to meet that I do want to talk about is Vinyl Theater. This was when I saw 21 Pilots. They opened for them in 2014, and they were seriously so incredibly sweet, and they're definitely in my top 5, and I'm gonna get to that in just a second. So now that I've shared with you guys all of the band members that I actually have met, I think that's all of them as far as I know. That's the best I can remember, but now I'm gonna share with you guys my top 5 interactions with some of these band members, the very best experiences that I've ever had with meeting a musician. And this is gonna start off with an indirect interaction with Paul McCartney of the Beatles. Like, I'm not joking. So back in 2011, I was in high school and literally going through a huge, massive Beatles phase. I was head over heels in love, obsessed with the Beatles. And a friend of mine went to go visit, I think somebody in Ohio, somebody in her family, like her grandfather or something, and he worked at this bar or restaurant of some sort, and apparently he actually knows Paul McCartney. And at the time, like I said, I was very obsessed, and this girl went over there and she was at this bar or restaurant, and guess who shows up? Paul McCartney literally shows up to go talk to her grandfather, whoever it was, and like they're just best friends, like whatever, just hey, what's up? I'm not Paul McCartney rolling in here or anything, I'm just a regular dude, like what? And my friend didn't even know that it was Paul McCartney because she like didn't care about the Beatles or anything, she just was oblivious. But once she found out who he was, luckily she told him that me and my other friend, who were literally obsessed with them at the time, said, oh my god, my friend loves you. And Paul McCartney said back to her, I love them too. Can you believe that? Paul McCartney basically said that he loves me. When I heard this story, I literally thought she was like pulling my leg. I thought she was messing with me, fucking with me, just trying to like get my hopes up for nothing because it just sounds so unrealistic. But she swears by it to this day. Now, honestly, who knows if it actually happened, but in my mind, I just tell myself that it did happen because she happened to not have her phone on her. She didn't get a picture or anything, but to me, I think it was real, and I'm just gonna say it is, because that's seriously an amazing interaction. Something, obviously I'm never going to meet Paul McCartney in my life, but this is the closest I'm ever gonna get. My number 4 favorite interaction would be with Patrick Miranda of Movements. I briefly mentioned this earlier. I met him at Warped Tour in 2017, and I actually just came across him, ran into him. I think I just finished watching somebody's set, I believe it was Creeper or somebody, and once all the crowd like dispersed, I was walking around and I just kind of saw him walking around and I ran into him and I was like, oh my god, like, can I get a picture with you? So we got a quick picture, and while I was there, I was like, this is my moment. I needed to tell him how special the song Deadly Dole was to me because it was a brand new song at the moment. Obviously, their album hadn't come out yet, but they were playing this song on Warped Tour, and I wanted to tell him like how insanely personal that song was to me, and it still is, because it's all about Alzheimer's and like grandparents losing their memory. Everything about that is really, really intense and emotional, and it's a song that like literally makes me cry pretty much every time I hear it. So I just wanted to tell him because at the time my grandma was still alive and she was battling Alzheimer's. I don't know if you want to say battling, it was kind of overtaking her, I guess, rather, and she did pass away at the end of August last year, but this was in July. So I wanted to tell him like, oh my god, like, your new song is seriously amazing. I was like crying watching you guys play it. My grandma has Alzheimer's, she's going through that right now. It's a really tough time, and he was very understanding. Obviously, he's dealt with that if he wrote a song about it. And he said, oh my god, I'm so sorry that you're going through that. But he was just very compassionate and just very sweet. And I do cherish that moment. I think Patrick and Movements, all those guys are seriously incredible. Number 3 goes to Vinyl Theater. Like I said, I got to see them open up for 21 Pilots in 2014. This was right before the Vessel era came to a close. And I actually made a video on Vinyl Theater a little bit before I went to the show. I kind of reacted to their music because they were just signed to Fueled by Ramen. and the band actually saw the video and they reached out to me thanking me for it, and they followed me on Twitter. But I was talking to their lead singer Keegan for a while, and I took a chance and actually asked him if the band would be willing to do a quick interview after the show, and they said yes. So me and my friend, and this was way back, like right when I started this channel, I was planning to do another channel with a friend of mine, so the interview was like on that channel. It was like the first video, but that was the only video we ever made. But we did interview the band, and it was a really cool experience, and they were incredibly sweet to us. So kind. They signed a poster for us, a CD, and they were just so cool. Very sweet. But like I said, we got to interview them, and I was insanely nervous, like literally so nervous. I had so much anxiety because I'd never done anything like this before, and actually their own camera person was the one who was filming it for us because I didn't really have a decent camera or microphone yet, but he filmed it for us, so it turned out pretty great quality. And yeah, it would just turn out awesome. I got to hug them, and it was just a really awesome experience. We never remembered to take a picture together, but like I said, we do have the video, so that's good enough for me. That's always going to be a really awesome experience and memory that I will forever cherish, and I'm still waiting to go meet them again. I'd love to see them again. Number 2 goes to Panic at the Disco, basically Brendan Urie. I got to meet them in 2016 on their summer tour, and this is like the first and only time that they've ever offered meet and greets for people to buy, like to the public. And once I saw that opportunity, I had to snag it because it is so rare that you run into Brendan Urie or any band that's that big for that matter. So I did it, and I was actually all by myself for this one because I had no one to go to the show with, but I still went by myself, and I went to the meet and greet obviously, which was right before, and it was seriously one of the greatest days of my life. Like, I know that sounds insane, but like it really was an amazing moment. It was your standard meet and greet. It didn't include a signing or anything, but we did get a signed poster or something, I believe. But anyways, we go in line and you just go up to them, you get a picture, you get to talk for like a few seconds. It's really not that long, but I remember rehearsing what I was gonna say to Brendan in my head like over and over until it got up to be my turn. And luckily I was able to pretty much remember everything, and I told him how special Panic at the Disco has been to me and how they're the band that really got me into music, how I've been a fan since 2009. That was like almost 8 years or something, and I just told him all of that. I was like, just thank you so much for everything. Like, you literally bring so much happiness into my life. And I gave him a little letter that I obviously wrote a lot more, but he said thank you so much, and he called me sweet. He literally said, "You're so sweet," and I literally melted and died. I remember turning to Brendan. I was standing to his left. I remember turning to him to like talk to him, and we made eye contact, and I could literally see like the freckles on his face. Like, that's how close we were. 12-year-old me would have died for this experience, and I finally gave it to her. Last but not least, the story I've been saving for the end of this video. I actually have told it quite a few times, but a lot of you guys are probably newer viewers and haven't seen those videos. But yes, I have met Fall Out Boy twice, and the second time is my all-time favorite interaction ever. And it actually extends beyond in person. It goes to Twitter as well. But first of all, I got to meet Fall Out Boy. This was my second time meeting them. The first time I met them was in 2013 at the Save Rock and Roll tour. It was awesome, but it was also kind of awkward because I forgot to give Patrick my gift, and the photo was very awkward. But nonetheless, it was amazing. The second time I got to meet them in 2014 on Monumentor with Paramore, and I was actually able to film this meet and greet somehow. My phone was in my front pocket, so I captured pretty much the whole conversation and the whole meet and greet. But for this meet and greet, basically you go up and there's the signing first. They sign whatever you want. They gave us these little cards that had a photo of Fall Out Boy on them, and then they would sign inside of it. It was like a little greeting card, if you will. And I also gave Patrick this birthday video for his 30th birthday. It's crazy now that that's been so many years ago. I made a big fan video. It was like an hour-long compilation of a bunch of different fans giving him a birthday wish of some sort in video form, photo, whatever, fan art, just a bunch of different things like that, all compiled together. And I gave it to him on a DVD, CD, whatever. I also gave it to him on a tiny flash drive. I'm literally insane. But like, I wanted him to be able to watch it somehow, so I gave it to him. And when I got up to Pete Wentz, all I said to him was, "Hi, I love you." It was so awkward, but still, like, such a great moment. After the fact, this was a few days after, I believe, after I obviously gave Patrick my video for his birthday. I actually got a random Twitter DM from Patrick Stump. He basically thanked me for the birthday video. He thanked a bunch of the other people that helped me put it together, and it was just incredible. He started like seeking people out because we put our Twitter usernames in there, most of us, and he would just go search those people and send them a thank you, and it was just so kind. Patrick Stump is literally an angel on earth. And when I got that DM, I literally started bawling my eyes out. I captured it on video too.
Oh my god, okay. I'm like I'm like crying right now. Oh my god, Patrick just direct messaged me about the video. Oh my god.
But that was by far the greatest interaction I've ever had with any band member, the kindest band member probably on this entire planet, Patrick Stump. But yeah, guys, that is gonna wrap up this video. Those are the stories of me meeting band members. Pretty much every single band member I've ever met. I hope you guys did enjoy hearing about these little stories. Like I said in the beginning of the video, share some of yours down in the comments section below. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I make videos about music, concerts, vinyl, everything related to music and bands. If you're into that, make sure you stick around, and I will see you guys in the next video.